Dating apps are an interesting game to play because they create availability. We don't want to live in a world where we're constricted to the people within a 15-mile radius of us. That doesn't sound appealing. I don't think the love of my life is my neighbor. But on the flip side, I'm not quite sure that having access to thousands of people from the city next door to across the country and to a whole other continent is for the best thing either. Now, when you talk about online dating, you kind of get this like visceral negative reaction. People kind of jump at you and they're like, oh, you got to go out there and you got to meet someone in person. Just on the apps, it's not real dating. You got to go experience life. Okay, Susan, where? Where are all these single people supposedly gathering at that you just want us single people to go frolic and be with them? Is there like a meeting I'm missing? Because if so, I didn't get the reminder. And I understand that meeting online isn't the cutest story. We met at Target has a cuter ring to it than we matched on Hinge. So I get it. But does that make them inherently bad and meeting in person inherently good? I guess that's the question at hand. So royalty, if this is your first time here, I'm Carissa. Babe, welcome to the council meeting. Glad to have you. And if you're a returning subscriber, girl, I got your crown. I shined it. Here it is. Wear it for your day. Glad you're ready. Now, guys, I've had my own personal experience with dating apps. I actually met an amazing man online. We had a beautiful 2-year relationship. We actually met on Tinder, babe, like 10 years ago. It was crazy. It was like the dark ages, the beginning stages of dating apps, and we matched. And I do remember staring at his picture like, is he really 5'7"? And I'm glad I actually swiped right because it was an amazing relationship that taught me so much. We just weren't each other's person, but he was incredible. Now, I've also met men online and I've had an incredible experience. I remember I met someone and I really truly believed love at first sight. I was like, oh, he is the one because I have never ever experienced anything like this before. So he's gotta be. And then 3 months later, I had a conversation about how things just aren't working out. So I don't really think that the place you meet is really the determination of how the relationship is going to go. Because people meet online, have met in person for centuries, and have broken up and left each other. We are just entering the new field of dating apps. Now let's talk about some numbers. Now, something that really jumped out at me was how many people are meeting online. I went to a work conference. There were 3 women there. 2 of them had met their husband online on a dating app, and 1 of them had met them at the gym. So the 60% story of couples meeting online was very accurate and very true in my little tale. I was completely taken back by their Bumble love story, and then my homegirl telling me, yeah, I didn't really like his Hinge pictures, but something told me to swipe. So it's like, okay, so it has nothing to do with where you're meeting at. That's not the problem at hand. So if you can meet someone online and it be just as successful as meeting someone in person, you guys stay together, then what is the issue? What is the problem? I think I got it. I think what dating apps are showing us is the real disease and problem at hand. That we're treating each other like swipeable profiles. All you are is a picture with a description and a bio and a few likes. And you keep going. Left, right, until you stop at someone who maybe gives you a little bit of an endorphin rush, a little bit of dopamine hit, and you swipe. And then you get in this relationship, say you try, and then things get challenging. And you have a moment where you realize there's someone else behind the profile I just swiped on. There are X amount of people on my app waiting for me to jump back in and try again. So if things aren't working out with her or them, I can go try again somewhere else. And I have an app that tells me exactly who's available to try with. I don't even have to go outside. I don't have to go out into the wild and find it. It's like Uber Eats on my phone. I just, I like her, don't like her. And that, I think, is our real issue. It's not the app itself. It's not the fact that I can go online and meet other available people who I know are available and want to be spoken to, which I think is beneficial for both men and women. Because how awkward it is when a guy approaches you when you're not in the mood. Like, please, do you see the face I have on? It is not meant to be approached. And men also are tired of getting rejected, because how many times am I going to approach a girl before I realize, like, I'm tired of hearing no? It's just human reaction. So dating apps aren't essentially the problem. They're just exposing to us how replaceable we feel everyone is, which is a dangerous, dangerous thing. Now, I heard this thought experiment, there's theory online, and it's kind of stuck to me and made me think about this more and more. There are 8 billion people on this planet, and only 10,000 of them can possibly cause you to have a little bit of sparkle in you, okay? Now, I am not a mathematician, so I'm not going to break down the percentage of that, but we know it's pretty freaking small. So dating apps could possibly give you the ability to reach those 10,000 people. Because what are the odds that 10,000 people are right in your neighborhood? What are the odds that you're going to bump into the one person out of that 10,000 in your local city at your grocery store? Because that's the meet cute story we're talking about. We're talking about meeting at the mechanic shop or the bookstore, the coffee store. What are the odds that that 1 out of 10,000 people are there, here, and you're going to meet them organically on your day-to-day life? On the reverse, do dating apps help us access those 10,000 people? Does it allow us to expand the ratio and realize that maybe they're not 20 miles away, but they're 50, they're 100, they're 1,000? I've heard stories of girls putting their Hinge profiles for another country and meeting a man. She wouldn't have met him organically just walking around her store because he literally wasn't there. So was she wrong for trying dating apps? Or do dating apps make the person who's part of that 10,000 replaceable? Do dating apps give you the confidence to try someone else because you have a literal app on your phone that guarantees you'll meet other single people? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. But see, I don't know what the answer is. I don't have an answer whether we should deem dating apps negative or positive. None of that. It's all a tool. Dating apps are not killing relationships. They're not killing love. In fact, they benefit when someone tells a story of, hey, I met on Bumble, because then you're going to join and pay their little subscription fee to meet someone on Bumble too. So it doesn't benefit them for us to stay single on their apps. But at the same time, what they do is allow us to see everything that is available to us. And as human beings, sometimes an overload of choice doesn't equate to the best thing. So my personal opinion, it's a tool. It's one of many things you should use as you enter upon the dating world, as you try to experience the world. The goal is not necessarily to go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to meet someone organically, so I'm going to strip myself of all these apps and just try. No, I don't like that answer either. The goal is to create a life that's so exciting that if you meet someone along that journey, it's a bonus. It's not that you're out here hunting. You're not at your homegirl's party like, where are the single men? I need to stand there. No, you look weird, sis. You look odd. Like, we're here to have drinks, okay? But if you want to have a dating app, if you want to swipe through on your pathway of your exciting life as you hope to meet someone because you are at a singles party and you do see a cute guy across the room and you're like, maybe I will say hi. That's what you should do. You should use every tool available to you while you enjoy and live your life. So don't get stuck on someone telling you what's right, what's wrong. This is your story. This is your journey. Like I said, for me, I've had really positive experiences with both. I've met great guys in person. I've met great guys online. Didn't determine how the relationship ended. So what about you, royalty? How are you doing this single lady thing or single king thing, okay? And if you aren't single and you watch this video, how did you meet your person? Are you part of the 60% of Americans who are meeting online? I am so curious. What app did you use, babe? Because I'm not on any and I have no intentions on getting any, but those below might want to know. Now, if you made it this far, I'll give you my little life update because I try to do this at the very end. I totally had this video planned before the breakup. So breaking up and then talking about dating apps is so hilarious to me because I'm like, I'm definitely not getting on the dating apps right now. I have no desire. But it was one of the first things my mom mentioned. She's like, all right, time to get back in the game. Go get on the apps. couldn't help but laugh. And something else I found super interesting was how much dating app culture is an American thing. When I went to Italy, I brought up dating apps and using them, and they were so repulsed by the idea of swiping right on someone. My goodness, my girl was like, absolutely not. Why would I do that when I could have a great story of meeting someone in person instead of online on an app? And I was like, yeah, true, true. And at the time, she was like, look at your story. Like, you guys met on a vacation. It was once in a lifetime. And I remember thinking as she was saying that, like, girl, let the story play out before we, like, say it's a romance novel. So I truly am in the middle of this storyline. I do not feel like dating apps are negative or bad. They are just a tool, and you should use whatever you want as you wish in that sense. All right, babe. So on that note, don't forget you are loved, cared for, and thought of, if by nobody else, by me and the Funkos. Bye, guys.